As Will Smith was preparing for the big action sequence, his dog Max became obsessively focused on sniffing one of the guns on set. The prop master said the weapon was safe, but Max wouldn't stop. Just 30 seconds before filming began, Max tried to grab that gun. And it's a good thing he did. The gun was loaded with real bullets. Sony Pictures Studios in Culver City was buzzing with excitement for the production of Bad Boys 4 Final Run. This was set to be the biggest and most explosive entry in the franchise, with Will Smith returning as Detective Mike Lowry for what many believed would be his final outing in the series. The massive Stage 15 was transformed into a detailed replica of a Miami warehouse district, complete with multiple levels, breakaway walls, and carefully choreographed destruction sequences. Over 200 cast and crew members worked in perfect coordination to create the film's climactic shootout scene, a 12-minute sequence that would feature more gunfire, explosions, and stunt work than any previous Bad Boys movie. At Will Smith's side, as he had been for the past 7 years, was Max. The 8-year-old German Shepherd had been Will's constant companion since 2016, accompanying him to film sets, interviews, and public appearances. Max wasn't just a pet. He was a specially trained emotional support animal and had become something of a celebrity himself among film crews. "Max has probably been in more movies than some actors," joked director Adil El Arbi, watching the dog calmly observe the complex set preparation around them. He's seen everything from romantic comedies to full-scale action sequences. Max had indeed seen it all, from the controlled chaos of Men in Black International to the intense dramatic scenes of King Richard. The German Shepherd had developed a remarkable ability to remain calm during even the most chaotic filming conditions. His intelligence and training made him perfectly suited for the demanding environment of major film productions. But today, something was different. At 10:30 a.m., the full cast and stunt team gathered for the mandatory weapons safety briefing. This was standard protocol for any production involving firearms, even replica weapons. Armorer Sarah Mitchell, a 15-year veteran of action films, explained the safety procedures that would govern the day's shooting. "Today, we're working with 47 prop weapons," Sarah announced to the assembled group. "Each weapon has been individually inspected, cleared, and marked with identifying tags. All ammunition is blank cartridges only, and every weapon will be rechecked before each take." The weapons were arranged on a secured table, each tagged and numbered according to strict Hollywood safety protocols. Pistols, rifles, and submachine guns were organized by scene and character assignment. Will Smith's character would primarily use 2 specific handguns during the sequence, both of which had been extensively tested and certified safe. Max, who typically remained calm during these briefings, began showing unusual behavior. The dog's ears perked up and his nose began working overtime, detecting something in the air that others couldn't sense. His attention became focused on the weapons table, specifically on one particular handgun designated as Hero Weapon Number 3. "Max seems a bit interested in the props today," observed stunt coordinator Jake Morrison. "Usually he ignores all this stuff." Will noticed his dog's behavior too. "He's been acting a little strange this morning," he admitted, more alert than usual. As the briefing continued, Max's behavior escalated from curiosity to obsession. The German Shepherd stood up and began moving toward the weapons table, his nose extended and working furiously. His entire body language had changed, from his usual calm demeanor to intense, focused alertness. "Max, stay," Will commanded, but the dog's attention remained locked on the specific weapon. This was highly unusual behavior for Max, who had always been perfectly obedient on film sets. Armorer Sarah Mitchell noticed the dog's fixation. "It's probably the gun oil or cleaning solvent," she suggested. Dogs have sensitive noses. Sometimes they react to the chemicals we use to maintain the weapons. But Max's behavior wasn't typical curiosity about new scents. The dog began exhibiting clear signs of agitation, pacing, whining softly, and repeatedly returning his attention to hero weapon number 3. His intelligent brown eyes showed a level of concern that Will had rarely seen. "I've never seen him react to props like this," said Will's personal assistant, Michael Chen. "Max is usually completely indifferent to set equipment." The dog's obsession became so intense that he began trying to approach the weapons table, despite commands to stay back. This was completely unlike Max's normal disciplined behavior. Sarah Mitchell had handled weapons on hundreds of film productions and took pride in her meticulous safety procedures. "Every weapon on this table has been triple-checked," she assured the concerned observers. "Hero weapon number 3 was cleared this morning, loaded with regulation blank cartridges and sealed until use." She picked up the weapon in question, a realistic-looking pistol that would be used in Will's character's final confrontation scene. "See? Safety engaged, proper tags, all documentation complete." She showed the weapon's safety mechanisms and certification labels to the group. But Max's reaction to the weapon being handled became even more intense. The dog let out a sharp bark, something he never did during professional briefings. His hackles rose slightly, and he strained against Will's restraining hand. "That's really unusual," admitted director Jerry Bruckheimer, who had worked with many animal actors over the years. "Max has always been perfectly behaved during weapons handling." Sarah remained confident in her procedures. "Look, I understand the dog's reaction is concerning, but I've been doing this for 15 years. The weapon is safe, period." Despite the armorer's assurances, Max's behavior continued to escalate. The German Shepherd became increasingly agitated whenever hero weapon number 3 was mentioned or handled. He began positioning himself between Will and the weapons table, as if trying to create a protective barrier. "This isn't like Max," Will said, growing more concerned. "He's trained to ignore props and equipment. For him to react this strongly to a specific weapon, something's not right." The dog's behavior was so unusual that it began affecting the mood of the entire production. Cast and crew members started watching Max's reactions rather than focusing on their preparations. Some crew members who had worked with Max on previous films commented that they'd never seen him display such focused concern. "Maybe we should double-check that specific weapon," suggested producer Doug Belgrad. "Just to be safe." Sarah Mitchell was reluctant to delay production based on a dog's behavior, but the concern was becoming widespread enough to affect the day's schedule. "Fine," she said. "I'll reinspect hero weapon number 3, but I'm telling you, it's safe." Despite the professional pressure to proceed with filming, Will Smith made a decision that would prove crucial. After 7 years together, he had learned to trust Max's instincts completely. The dog had never been wrong about people or situations, and his current level of alarm was unprecedented. "We need to stop everything and figure out what's bothering Max," Will announced to the production team. "I know it sounds crazy, but this dog has saved me from dangerous situations before. If he's this concerned about that weapon, we need to take it seriously." Some crew members looked skeptical, but Will's reputation and the unusual nature of Max's behavior convinced most of them to take the situation seriously. Production was temporarily halted while the armorer prepared to conduct a more thorough inspection of hero weapon number 3. Max seemed to sense the validation of his concerns and became slightly calmer, but he maintained his vigilant watch over the weapons table. His eyes never left hero weapon number 3, and his body remained in a protective stance near Will. When Sarah Mitchell disassembled hero weapon number 3 for detailed inspection, what she found made her blood run cold. Mixed in with the regulation blank cartridges were 3 live rounds, real bullets that could kill. "Oh my God," she whispered, her hands shaking as she examined the ammunition. "These aren't blanks, these are live rounds." The discovery sent shockwaves through the production. Live ammunition on a film set was not just a safety violation, it was potentially deadly. If Will had used that weapon during the action sequence as planned, the results could have been catastrophic. "How is this possible?" demanded Jerry Bruckheimer. "What are live rounds doing in a secured prop weapon?" Sarah's investigation revealed that someone had deliberately tampered with the weapon's ammunition load. The live rounds had been carefully mixed with blanks in a way designed to avoid detection during routine safety checks. This wasn't an accident, it was sabotage. The discovery of live ammunition triggered an immediate FBI investigation. Agent Maria Gonzalez, who specialized in entertainment industry security, was called to the scene within hours. "This is a clear case of attempted murder," Agent Gonzalez told the assembled production team. "Someone deliberately placed live ammunition in a weapon they knew would be used by Mr. Smith. If that weapon had been fired during filming, the implication was clear. Will Smith could have been killed, and the live rounds could have injured or killed anyone in the line of fire during the action sequence." Security footage was immediately pulled and analyzed. Every person with access to the weapons was interviewed. The investigation revealed a disturbing pattern of security breaches and unauthorized access to the armory. Max, meanwhile, finally relaxed completely once the dangerous weapon was secured and removed from the set. His mission was accomplished. The threat had been identified and eliminated. The FBI investigation uncovered a plot by a disgruntled former stunt performer named Derek Matthews, who had been fired from a previous Will Smith production for unsafe practices and substance abuse. Matthews had harbored a grudge against Will for years and had managed to get hired as a day player, extra on Bad Boys 4. Matthews had access to the armory during a brief window when security protocols were relaxed, Agent Gonzalez explained. He used that access to tamper with hero weapon number 3, knowing it was designated for Will Smith's use. Matthews was arrested at his hotel room, where investigators found additional live ammunition, detailed plans of the film set, and evidence of his intent to harm Will Smith. His plan was to make the shooting look like an accident caused by prop weapon malfunction. "If Max hadn't detected those live rounds," said Agent Gonzalez, "we would likely be investigating a murder rather than an attempted murder." Max's heroic actions made headlines worldwide and prompted significant changes in film industry safety protocols. Bad Boys Dog Saves Will Smith became one of the biggest entertainment news stories of the year. "This incident shows us that we need multiple layers of security verification," said Sony Pictures chairman Tom Rothman. "Max's natural instincts caught something our safety procedures missed." New protocols were implemented requiring additional verification steps for all prop weapons, including random inspections and enhanced background checks for anyone with armory access. The Max protocol became industry standard, the use of trained detection dogs during weapons-heavy productions. Dr. Jennifer Walsh, an animal behavior specialist, explained Max's success. "German Shepherds have an exceptional ability to detect chemical differences. Max likely smelled the distinct powder composition of live ammunition versus blank cartridges." Will Smith's gratitude to Max was evident to everyone on set. "Max didn't just save my life," he said in interviews. "He potentially saved the lives of everyone in that action sequence. He's not just my companion, he's my guardian angel." Max was given an official position as canine safety consultant for all future Will Smith productions. The dog received his own security clearance, ID badge, and even a custom action hero collar designed by the costume department. "Max has earned his place as a full member of our safety team," said producer Doug Belgrad. "His instincts and protective abilities make every production safer." Today, Max continues his dual role as Will Smith's beloved companion and official film set safety consultant. The German Shepherd is present during all weapons handling and action sequences, providing an additional layer of security that has proven invaluable. "Having Max on set gives everyone peace of mind," says current Sony Pictures security director Lisa Park. "He's prevented 2 more potential incidents since the Bad Boys case, both involving improperly maintained weapons." Max's success has inspired other major stars to work with trained safety dogs, and his training protocols have been adopted by multiple studios. 3 years later, Max sits calmly beside Will Smith on the set of the latest action production. His intelligent brown eyes scan the crew with the same vigilant attention that saved so many lives that day in Culver City. The dog wears his official Sony Pictures safety badge proudly, but to Will, he's still the same loyal companion who chose to protect his family above all else. Max's heroism didn't require special effects or stunt work, just the courage to trust his instincts and the determination to protect those he loved. "People always ask me about playing action heroes," Will reflects, watching Max maintain his protective watch. "But I live with a real one. Max doesn't need explosions or car chases. He's got something more powerful: loyalty, intelligence, and an unbreakable commitment to keeping people safe." Max looks up at Will and wags his tail, then returns his attention to his safety duties, because real heroes never stop watching, never stop protecting, and never stop being ready when danger threatens those they love. In a world of movie magic and make-believe, Max proved that real heroism comes from the heart, and sometimes it comes with 4 paws and an amazing nose for danger.